Hello there! This is Nick Zituni from Next Gen Daycare, still playing with some toys and trying to make sure that those are also tech compatible as we have been seeing in our previous videos, alright? This is a sorting and color kind of a shape toy that we have here. Super simple, as you guys can see. They have different shades of each color, and there are different sizes, and kids of course can just put them together in many ways. It allows them to think about, of course, what color goes with what color. It allows them to understand size and how you should organize size, and of course the fine motor skills of putting them together in whatever fashion they see fit. All right, so if you are watching this video for the first time, great, I'm going to give you some information, which again, games, toys like those are very good because they play with many cognitive abilities from children. Again, colors, shapes, size, how they're going to fit well. Will this be a more stable organization than this? Does it even matter depending on what they're trying to do, right? And most importantly, the colors stimulate the vision, while the forms, the shapes, and the material that this is made of will stimulate children's touch feeling, and their hands, of course, with the fine motor skills, right? The big problem that I personally have with toys like that is that they can be fairly limiting. And I want you guys to understand why I'm saying limiting. You go out there and you buy a toy like this, okay? And again, beautiful. We all know that children, they get very fixated in something that they like, and they can be playing with this here for hours and days and even years as far as we know. And if you pay $50 for something like that, totally worth the money, right? But here's the deal with technology. You might pay something much cheaper than this, even free depending on the app that you're going to be getting, and you might be getting much more value out of it. So this does have a lot of value, and I strongly suggest parents out there to have toys like this. But when you get apps, for example, like this little guy here that also allows you to sort things, thinking about shape, size, and even color, apps like that will give you extra knowledge. In this case here, this app allows you to think about something that we do here in Next Gen Educare, that is environmental stewardship. So we think about the planet, we're thinking how to make the planet better. And why not combine this little game here with a theme, for example, that would be good for extra learning. And again, children will be, of course, able to see where this will fit. Children will be able to play around, trial and error. The app will allow them to see when they're being successful or not, while understanding that, metal cans are made of metal, especially if they ever interacted with something like that before, should go in a different type of garbage bin than, for example, just your regular recyclables. Same thing in here. Let's get this little apple and put the little apple all the way here, for example, in our organics, while this little bottle can be recycled and go to the blue bin. So again, in terms of the skills that you're going to be using and children are going to be learning, the physical toy will pretty much allow for development similar to a tech toy. Fine motor skills to put the little objects in, cognitive skills to understand color, different shades of color, different sizes, right? And even the touch cognitive ability to understand whatever material the toy will be feels to children, in this case wood. As previously discussed in other videos, a computer does not allow children to have a lot of the touch part of it. It's just a touch screen. It will feel the same regardless of what the child is doing, but If you ever want to replace this little guy here for something that will be, I don't know, again, environmentally inclined, you're gonna have to spend whatever, 50 more bucks, etc. I never researched the price of those toys, so again, I'm just giving random amounts. But if you have an app, you can find, sometimes for free, like this app here, games that would allow for the same skills to be developed using different themes, and you can expose your children to those themes and allow them to discover that there is much more out there to, let's call those guys flowers, than flowers. Of course they should be playing with flowers, of course they should be learning more about it, but why not, for free or very cheap, allow children to play around with what is recyclable, what is not, what goes into the blue bin versus what goes into the green bin, and most importantly, developing technology skills. In this case, drag and dropping, right? Allowing children to understand that they need to put a specific amount of pressure in the screen, maintaining that pressure while moving objects around. All right? And furthermore, again, when you expose children to technology, such as those apps, there are many other stimulants, many other cognitive cues here that will allow your child to feel more connected to this, like music, like the animations, the little sun, which again, understandable. You can create something similar with this if you put music around, if you have a playroom, very understanding. But again, this one here comes with the full package. All right? And my classic disclaimer, I am not saying that this should replace this. I think they can coexist and they have both their place in the child's learning and development. This is awesome. It's a much needed experience. It develops children's sense of touch, but this also tries to normalize technology for a good use for children. That if this was something that was imprinted in the child's brain, eventually one day when she gets familiar or even presented to technology that will have touch screen, the child will have a much easier time compared to what we did when we were young, right? I hope you like this video. Don't forget to give us a like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you might have. All right? I'll see you in the next video.